listen, that thing every Twitter user worries about is my tweet left its intended audience. Like, they'll be tweeting as though that they think that, you know, a person with like maybe couple thousand followers on their account has like a decent following in a niche audience. Maybe they're into LazyTown, right? Let's say they're in the LazyTown fandom and they make a tweet about Robbie Rotten. They make a tweet about how they think Sporter Robbie is a great ship or whatever it is, which might be the most tame and sort of normal LazyTown take you could possibly have, right? And what they're worried about and what might happen is that their fan art of Robbie Rotten getting his Omanko plowed by Sporticus suddenly leaves its target audience and then starts getting retweeted by people who don't know who only know that LazyTown is a kid's show, and suddenly everyone is really embarrassed. I would like for that to happen with this stream. I would like for someone to clip me going on and on and on about how much I love The Last Jedi, and I would like Star Wars fans to find it. I would like Star Wars fans to find this rant about The Last Jedi, and I want them to watch it, and I want them to get I want them to get their fucking pants in a twist. I want them to lose their minds, because that would make me really fucking happy. If they, for 1 second, were challenged enough to have just one instance of critical thinking in their entire life, then I would be really, really happy. So that's the plan. That's the plan. Make this leave its target audience. Show this to as many Star Wars Redditors as you possibly can and just watch their penises drop off. My dick fell off! I found a clip where people were getting genuinely mad at me for my Twilight takes. They were genuinely Team Jacob people who were really mad at me, and I was like, guys, your Twilight fave is a guy who forcefully kisses the main character and then doesn't take the hint when she tries to punch him. Just give up. So yeah, I'm gonna get around to watching the originals and the sequels again, and I'm so excited to watch the sequels again. Specifically, very excited to watch 7 and 8. Might just skip 9. I don't want to watch it again. I cannot believe that with all the money in the world and all of the feedback and like sort of warnings from the prequels in the world, Disney managed to create a Star Wars film that is so much worse than the prequels in every conceivable way. Because even though the prequels are so flawed and so and not miserable to watch, like so silly and so cringe in some ways, they managed to be better than Rise of Skywalker. They managed to make Rise of Skywalker look so bad because Rise of Skywalker managed to be genuinely miserable as an experience. Like, honestly, one of the worst films I have ever seen. I hate The Rise of Skywalker, and there are only 3 films in existence that I hate. It was an overcorrection from 8. Right, exactly. An overcorrection from 8, which was a fantastic fucking film. And I am not taking criticism. I will not be listening to any The Last Jedi slander, because Rian Johnson took The Last Jedi in a very interesting direction. It understood the mythology that made the original trilogy so interesting. He didn't give a fuck about Reddit theories about who was who. Episode 8 is my favorite Star Wars movie. I like it more than Episode 5, because he took a well-established universe and mythology, and he took it in an extremely interesting direction that was then overcorrected because fucking stupid, nerdy Star Wars fans could not stand that their preconceived notions about an honestly mediocre lore and backstory was being challenged. He created an incredible story that managed to give every character involved a really satisfying conclusion and gave J.J. Abrams everything he needed to make Star Wars a brand new IP accessible to a brand new generation in a really interesting way that was entertaining for adults as well, and he fucked it up and made Rey a Palpatine, which is the stupidest fucking plot twist when you had the most interesting fucking twist from the last film, which was that Rey's heritage doesn't matter and that she as a woman is strong enough to not owe her fucking power to a man, that she can actually be her own person, and so is implied, so can you, the audience. So can you owe your power only to yourself because you yourself are special in every conceivable way. That apparently did not matter enough to J.J. Abrams. I'm dead. I'm so mad. I'm so mad about what they did. I wanted to walk out of episode 9 feeling elated with a big smile on my face, but I just walked out feeling fucking betrayed. I was so upset with how that film turned out, as you can probably imagine. So yes, not looking forward to watching that again. Might just skip it in the end. For my money, I feel like you might as well end the franchise with episode 8. You might as well, because, you know, think about the ending to episode 8. There is, like, I don't know, like, there are some loose ends, because it is the middle film in the trilogy, but it just, oh, God. It is the middle film in the trilogy, but, you know, we're on 60 lives. I've been talking for a long time. Again, another reason why I enjoyed The Last Jedi, because it completely, everyone had so many expectations for it, and it was like, no, actually, I'm going to be a good film instead. And everyone was like, no, but my film, no, not my Luke, no, why did you make Luke a well-rounded and interesting character who instead of being a video game character who gained a permanent level up, he's a mythic hero who continues to struggle with greater and greater battles as his life continues. Why did you not have him jump out of a spaceship and start killing people? Why is he interesting? And I beat him upside the head with a fucking tire iron. Get the fuck out of my face. Jesus Christ. I have many opinions, all of them angry. Head full, thoughts infinite. What do you think of the lightspeed crash scene in The Last Jedi? I think it's fucking brilliant. I think genuinely in terms of, like, pacing and structure, the lightspeed crash scene in The Last Jedi... First of all, I want to tell you something. The people who were like, that doesn't make any sense. Shut the fuck up. It's a movie about space wizards and funny spaceships, and in my brain, right, anyone who watches that with any semblance of just a normal thought process looks at giant ship aiming at other big ship and powering into light speed. That's probably gonna do some damage. That's all you need to think. It is not that fucking deep. It is not that deep. These films do not need to make sense to be brilliant. Star Wars is not sci-fi. Star Wars is a fucking soap opera about character relationships. It's not... The science of spaceships doesn't matter that much. These are the same people who love the prequels, where in Revenge of the Sith, General Grievous breaks open the windshield of a spaceship and everyone gets fucking almost sucked out. If it was real, their heads would have blown up. Nobody gives a fuck about the science of Star Wars. There are so many scenes in the Clone Wars where Plo Koon is just floating around in space without a helmet on. He would be dead in real life, but it doesn't matter because the science of Star Wars doesn't fucking matter. It's about the story. It's about the characters. But anyway, in terms of pacing, you have in The Last Jedi, in that final act, or really, well, it's more like the end of the second act before they go down to the planet, but like that, you have such a rising sense of tension. You have Rey and Kylo in their battle to the death after, let's be honest, possibly the single sexiest, the throne room fight scene after they team up, possibly the single most sexy scene in any film. That is a sex scene. That is a sex scene, right? That is a sex scene, okay? So I cannot stand watching sex scenes in films because they're so often boring and just two people rubbing bodies together. Like, you can so often tell when a sex scene is directed by a guy who thought the woman was attractive. Like, he just thought, okay, time to make the lead actress take her clothes off. Fuck no. Fuck no. Such a climax, yes, climax, you heard me, of tension between those two characters with that much tension to the point where they team up, the hero and the villain, like, with so much fucking raw tension between each other, team up to fight the fucking bad guys. Kylo overcomes his abuser and is like, yeah, we're doing this. And then they have this big thing where there's a long shot of all of them running at each other and they fight. That is a fucking sex scene. The tension release makes it, yes, that is better than any sex scene we could possibly get in Star Wars.